Okay, so have you ever noticed like how whiteboard animation just kind of grabs you?
Yeah.
It's like even thinking back to like being in school and you got the teacher up at the board with a marker and you're just like completely focused. Right, like they could be explaining something super boring, but you're still just watching that marker move.
Oh, absolutely. It's uh, it's almost mesmerizing, isn't it? There's something about that process of creation unfolding right in front of you that just draws you in.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's crazy? It's not just some weird nostalgia thing either. Like there's actual data behind this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, so get this, Doodle videos, like actual whiteboard animation stuff can boost sales by like 47%.
Wow, 47%. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, right? It's not just like a tiny little bump, it's like a massive jump. So clearly something's going on there.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to something really fundamental about how our brains are wired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it, the earliest forms of storytelling were visual.
Oh, yeah, like
Like
cave paintings and stuff? Yeah.
exactly. Cave paintings, hieroglyphs. They were all about communicating through images. And what's fascinating about whiteboard animation is that it kind of taps into that same primal instinct.
Right. It's like watching a story unfold in real time.
Yeah, and that sense of immediacy, that hand-drawn quality, it creates a connection with the viewer that's really powerful.
It's like our brains are still back in the cave. Like,
Well,
oh, something's being created. Gotta pay attention.
exactly. And that brings us to what we're diving deep into today,
InstaDoodle.
InstaDoodle.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a chance to look at this one?
Yeah, I've been playing around with it a bit, and honestly, I'm pretty excited about this one. Like, we're not here to just like read through a tech manual, right?
Yeah,
We want to see how this stuff actually works in the real world.
absolutely. We want to get our hands dirty, see what it can do.
And the thing that really grabbed my attention with InstaDoodle is that it's like they're trying to make this whole process of creating whiteboard animations super accessible, like even for people like me who are like, design challenged.
Right? The idea that anyone can create professional-looking videos without needing a degree in motion graphics.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the claims they're making are pretty bold, like studio grade whiteboard videos in just 3 clicks and say goodbye to expensive freelancers.
That's a pretty tall order, but it's definitely an intriguing proposition, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when you think about how difficult and time consuming it can be to make these kinds of videos the traditional way.
Right. You're either stuck trying to learn some complicated video editing software, which can take forever, or you're shelling out a ton of money to hire someone to do it for you.
Don't even get me started on the freelancer thing. It's like you spend hours searching for the right person,
Mm.
then you're never quite sure if they're going to actually understand what you're looking for.
And then there's the back and forth, the revisions, the potential for miscommunication. It can be a real headache.
It's a total nightmare. So the idea that there might be a tool that just like bypasses all that friction, send me up.
Well, that's what we're here to find out, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of information do we have to work with on InstaDoodle?
So we've got some pretty detailed descriptions of the features they're talking about, this thing called the Doodle AI engine, which sounds super cool.
Doodle AI engine. Okay.
I'm intrigued. What is that?
Basically, it's like AI that can create custom doodles for you. Like you just type in what you want and it generates a doodle.
Wow. So you don't even need to be able to draw.
Nope. And that's like a huge deal because one of the things they talk about is how people are getting frustrated with the limited libraries and other doodle software. Like you're stuck with whatever they give you.
Yeah, I can see how that would get old pretty quickly, especially if you have a very specific vision in mind.
Exactly. But with this Doodle AI thing, the only limit is your imagination. Like you can literally create any doodle you can think of.
That's pretty powerful, and it really sets it apart from a lot of the other options out there. And then on top of that, they've got this massive library of like over 1,000 pre-made doodle elements too. So even if you're not feeling super creative, you've got tons of stuff to work with.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You have the flexibility of the AI, but also a solid foundation to get you started.
Exactly. And it's all cloud-based, which is awesome.
Oh, nice. So no need to download any bulky software.
Nope, you just log in from anywhere and start creating.
That's super convenient,
Yeah.
especially if you're working on a project with other people.
Totally. And they've also got like different hand styles you can choose from, like a male or female hand drawing, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, that's a really smart detail because it adds a level of personalization and makes the video feel more human.
Right. Like those little things that make a big difference. And of course, you can add your own voiceover and background music.
Right. The voiceover guides the narrative and the music sets the mood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about creating that immersive experience. And okay, this is where I really geeked out. They've got an image to sketch converter.
An image to sketch converter. What does that do?
So you know how sometimes you want to include like your logo or a product shot in a whiteboard animation?
Yeah.
Well, with this, you can just upload the image and it converts it into a doodle style drawing.
Oh, that's cool. So it keeps everything looking consistent.
Yeah, exactly. And it's super easy to use. You don't need any special design skills or anything.
So it sounds like they've really thought of everything.
They really have. And I think that's what makes InstaDoodle so exciting. It's like they're trying to remove all the barriers to creating awesome whiteboard animation videos.
Right. It's about democratizing the process, making it accessible to everyone.
And I mean, they're claiming that it's so simple a child could master it, which, we'll see about that.
Let's put that to the test.
But even if it's not quite that easy, it's clear that they're aiming for a level of user-friendliness that's pretty rare in this kind of software.
Yeah, and that's a big deal because it means that people who might have been intimidated by the technical side of things can now actually create these kinds of videos.
So, okay, let's step back for a second. Why should anyone listening even care about this? Like, why is whiteboard animation such a big deal?
Well, I think it comes down to two things, clarity and engagement.
Okay, explain that.
So whiteboard animations are really good at taking complex information and making it easy to understand, like visually digestible.
Right, because you're seeing the concepts come to life right in front of you.
Exactly. And that visual element helps to keep people engaged. Like they're not just passively listening, they're actively following along.
And that's huge, especially in today's world where everyone's bombarded with content all the time.
Absolutely. You need something that's going to cut through the noise and grab people's attention, and whiteboard animation does that really well.
Yeah, and the material we looked at even breaks down how different types of people can benefit from this. Like, marketers can create ads that people actually watch.
Nonprofits can tell stories that connect with donors.
Content creators can keep their viewers hooked.
Entrepreneurs can pitch their ideas in a way that's clear and compelling.
And teachers can make even the most boring subjects come to life.
It's really a versatile format.
Yeah, and speaking of benefits, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price.
Ah, yes, the all-important question.
So the information we have mentions an 87% discount for founding members.
87%. Wow, it's quite a deal.
Yeah, and it's a one-time payment of just $37.
$37, that's less than a lot of monthly subscriptions.
Right. It's crazy. And I mean, obviously, we're not here to sell you anything.
Of course not, we're just presenting the information.
But it's definitely something to consider, especially if you're on a budget.
Absolutely, it makes the barrier to entry very low.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What are the key takeaways about InstaDoodle?
So based on everything we've looked at, it seems like InstaDoodle is all about simplicity, accessibility, and affordability.
Right. They're trying to make it as easy as possible for anyone to create high-quality whiteboard animation videos.
And they're doing that through a combination of intuitive software, a powerful AI engine, and a massive library of pre-made elements.
And what problems are they solving?
Well, they're addressing the time commitment, the complexity, and the cost that have traditionally been associated with this type of video creation.
So it's like they're taking all the pain points and just like throwing them out the window.
Exactly. They're streamlining the process and making it more accessible to a wider audience.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, think about all the people who have amazing ideas but have never been able to share them in this way because it was just too difficult or too expensive.
Exactly. Now they have the tools to bring those ideas to life.
And I think that's really what this whole deep dive comes down to. It's about the power of visual communication and how it can be used to connect with people on a deeper level.
Right. And with tools like InstaDoodle becoming more readily available, that power is now in the hands of more people than ever before.
So I guess the question for you listening is, what will you create? Like, what stories will you tell? What ideas will you share with the world?
The possibilities are endless. And with the barriers to entry lower than ever before, there's no excuse not to give it a try.
So go out there, experiment, have fun, and see what you can come up with.
Be sure to let us know what you create. We'd love to see it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into InstaDoodle, and don't forget to check out our other videos for more insights and discussions.
See you next time.